Hi, I'm Mayor Jane Castor. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to the USF Center for Urban Transportation and Research Achievement Awards event at the USF Marshall Student Center. In honor of tonight's theme, Women in Transportation, I'd like to take a moment to recognize all the hard work and contributions women have made to the engineering community. From Amelia Earhart, the first woman to pilot a plane across the Atlantic, to Elizabeth Dole, the first woman appointed as Secretary of Transportation, women have made countless contributions in this field. I would like to especially thank all of the women transportation engineers and technicians here tonight for all of their hard work and perseverance. I applaud all of the accomplishments this wonderful program has achieved since its founding in 1988. Tampa and the nation has benefited greatly from your research. Thank you for coming tonight, and please enjoy the event.
So I actually started out in architecture. I got my bachelor's from Florida A&M University, and I found that I wanted to work on a larger scale rather than on individual buildings. So I got my master's here at USF in urban and regional planning. We're the planning and corridor management team at CUTR. And we do a lot of work on transportation decision making. We do a lot of work on access management, and recently we've done a lot of projects that are focused on equity and public involvement. So really, how do we focus on people in transportation? How do we direct those people in places to make decisions, to have the information they need to better involve the public and to better create a transportation system that is for the people? And working at CUTR, I've actually been able to see that there are a lot of women involved, and we do a lot of the important work, and I think we provide an important perspective. Because transportation needs to be a whole system and a system for everyone. It needs to work for every age group, every race, every gender, and I think having a woman's perspective really allows us to contribute to that conversation and to provide feedback that can help make these decisions. The more diverse the industry is, the better transportation works for everyone. It's important that we get everyone's perspectives, and it's important that women and people of all backgrounds enter the field, because if we only have a one-sided view or views from persons of a certain experience, then the transportation system cannot work for everybody, and it will be that more difficult to create one that does. Go Bulls!
So when I was a little girl, my dad told me that I should be an engineer, and I told him that there was no way I was ever going to drive a train. But after he passed away and I actually listened to the things that he told me I should do, I started taking engineering courses here at USF and really loved transportation engineering with Dr. Panjari, who encouraged me and pretty much forced me to apply here at CUTR. And I applied with Dr. Steve Polzine and have been here ever since 2012. So my team does so much, and I get to touch on a lot of it. We do a lot of training development and technical assistance, not only throughout the state of Florida, but throughout the whole nation. We work with the Federal Transit Administration and the Florida Department of Transportation to solve transit safety problems. And we get to work on a diverse field, from anything from human trafficking awareness training to de-escalation training to crash worthiness standards for transit buses. And so it's really a great wide array of opportunities that we get on our team. As a woman in the transportation engineering field, I have received so much encouragement and support and motivation, and I've had some of the best mentors I think anyone could ever imagine, and which is really necessary as a female in a male-dominated field, where you really do have to learn your particular life balance, and it's really an ongoing struggle to continue to make sure that that balance is correct as you transition through your different stages of life. I would give a woman the same advice I would give anybody: take deliberate risk, because you really do have to continue to push yourself beyond what you think your perceived limits are. You're capable of so much more than you think you are. And so push yourself to those limits. And I think also you have to know when to say no and know when you need to take time for yourself. So strive for continuous improvement, but also think of your own personal health along the way.
About 35 years ago, I started over in Lakeland with the Lakeland Area Mass Transit District as a bus operator. From there, I moved up into many different positions within the agency. I found out that transportation was fascinating. Having a ball here at CUTR, met a lot of people. I'm part of the Safety and Workforce Development team, and as part of that, there's a segment that does compliance reviews for transit agencies within the state of Florida. And we also offer a lot of technical assistance to the transit agencies, and that's the part that I like most, is the technical assistance. I love going into an agency and they have a lot of issues, and we're able to provide that technical assistance to get them compliant. So the advice that I would give would be to be a dreamer and be a doer, and don't take no for an answer. Keep an open mind. Learn as much as you can about the industry. One of the things that really got me when I got into the industry was the fact that I would get thrown all these different jobs, and that wasn't in my department. I embraced them because it gave me the opportunity to learn many different aspects. And I think down the line, embracing those jobs gave me the opportunity to advance. Go Bulls!
And I ran across an article in the USF News about a research center that had just gotten a substantial grant from the Florida legislature to study transportation and growth management issues in the state of Florida. And I thought that looked interesting, so I stopped in and was fortunate to have been offered the opportunity to do that project. It was an amazing opportunity to go around the state, talk to people all over the state about some of the issues that they experienced in transportation here in Florida. And although at the time I wasn't really, I was mostly interested in growth management and some of those challenges, I really learned a lot about transportation in a relationship with land use and growth management, and really became quite interested in the topic. I think what I learned at that time was that there are the same issues and challenges that we're facing today, we were facing back then, although we have come a long way in terms of our practices, and we still have a long way to go, but that's where it really started. We've been doing research on how to make the transportation system more equitable through our planning and project selection process, so that projects are designed and defined for all types of people. And I put it like Gil Peñalosa did when he came to visit us in Tampa. If we design a system for people that are 8 and 80, we've got a system that works for everybody, and I truly believe that. We've been doing a lot of work in multimodal transportation planning as well toward that same end, and did a model element and training all over the state of Florida to help planners develop mobility plans that looked at all modes of transportation. We also do training for the MPOAC, elected officials that sit on the board of MPOs as part of the MPOAC Institute, to train them so that they can be more effective in their role as board member. And access management is an area that I have focused on for many, many years as well. And we've done a number of projects for Florida DOT, as well as the Transportation Research Board, to advance the state of the practice in access management. For a woman entering the field of transportation, I would say never underestimate yourself. Take on those challenging projects, because those are the ones that are really going to be the most rewarding. They may keep you up at night, but in the end, those are the ones that make your life meaningful and really can have an impact on the world around you. And also look for mentors, ask for advice. I've had mentors over the years that were top of their field, and they've made a huge difference in my career. So I would definitely recommend finding mentors, both men and women, who can show you the ropes and give you guidance and give you that pep talk when you need it. Go Bulls!